I spoke to Toll Brothers CEO Douglas Yearley, and I began by asking him how he'd rate the housing market right now on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being very high.
Oh, I think I'd give it about an 8. We've certainly had better times, but boy, this is, and remember that 8 is relative because we've been through 6 really bad years. So there's no great inflation right now for me. I think it feels really good based on where we've been. We obviously have room to go. I think it's relatively early stage of recovery, but we're raising prices again. We're seeing some big demand come back out. As we raise price, it seems like there's more demand as people feel the urgency to get in before prices go higher. So I think a solid 8.
So since you raised the question of prices, how are your prices tracking, and what are the average selling prices, and are you having some pricing power here?
We are. We just announced today that we raised price $26,000 on average per home, and our houses sell for about $600,000, and that was for the 3 months from February through April. So when you annualize that, it's a pretty big number. We're raising prices in about 60% of our communities. We have about 225 communities open for sale in 50 markets around the country. Those 60% of the communities that see price increases account for about 70% of the sales, because where we raise price tend to be the hotter communities. It's very community specific. So, Northern California, virtually everything sees a price increase. Southern Cal, virtually everything sees a price increase. But there's many markets where, some communities are seeing price increases and others are not. But overall, we're thrilled to be in that position now. Buyers are coming back out after being on the sidelines for 6 years to take advantage of these interest rates, and business is very good.
So you mentioned a couple of markets that I assume are among the hottest. What are the hottest markets right now, and which ones remain comparatively dormant?
The hottest markets are New York City urban for us. We call it our City Living brand. We're building Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Hoboken, and that market is absolutely on fire. We have new buildings that opened 3-4 months ago where pricing is up, $150,000, $250,000. Right behind New York would be Northern California. Both the South Bay and the East Bay are very hot. Significant pricing power there. Coastal Southern California, principally Orange County, is very strong. Softer markets, the Midwest is still a little bit soft. It's a little bit slower to recover, although there is strength in Michigan, of all places. And, that's really about it in terms of the soft markets. If you asked me that question 6 months ago, I'd have a handful that I'd say are soft, but right now that list is dwindling.
Well, that's good if you're a home builder. How does the rest of the year look, and do you worry at all on this day where the 10-year bond closed above 2%, what rising interest rates might bring?
If the rates go up slowly, which they may, we're fine. It's going to create more urgency as people want to get in. Obviously, if the rates were to skyrocket up, go up a couple of points, that would be a different issue. But I don't think anybody thinks that's going to happen. So, I think we're fine. If the rates went to 4, 4.25, 4.5, even the high 4s, but that happens progressively over time, I don't think there's any problem at all. That's still a historically low rate when you consider where they've been in many good times in the past.
Shares of Toll Brothers rose to a 7-year high today before pulling back. The stock is up about 38% over the past year, bettering both the Dow and the S&P.
And coming up